Rust. The smell hits before the visual does. Old metal, dried sweat, something chemical underneath. Ben's hands shake as he tries to pry open a filing cabinet in what used to be Grandpa Max's storage unit. The lock is already broken. Someone got here first. He finds a photograph. Max, younger, in a suit. Not a plumber uniform, a suit, corporate, standing next to a man in a lab coat, both grinning in front of something that looks like the Omnitrix prototype. But the design is inverted, wrong, like a photo negative. The back of the picture has a date, 1987. 3 years before the official plumber records say the Omnitrix was discovered. Ben's watch hums. Not the usual hum, a warning hum. The kind that happens when another Omnitrix is nearby. He turns. A woman stands in the doorway, late 50s, tired eyes. She's holding a briefcase and a gun, but the gun is lowered, almost apologetic. He told you it chose you, didn't he? Her voice cracks. It didn't. She wears reading glasses on a chain, a wool cardigan over tactical pants, orthopedic boots caked in red dirt. Her left hand is cybernetic, not sleek sci-fi chrome, but utilitarian, like a factory prosthetic from the 80s, all exposed hydraulics and grinding servos. She looks like someone who got older while the world moved on without her. She doesn't want to be here. Vera isn't trying to destroy the Omnitrix. She's trying to retrieve it. Because the Omnitrix was never an alien artifact discovered by accident. It was a joint venture, a collaboration between the plumbers and a now defunct division of a defense contractor called Genesis Applied Sciences. Max wasn't a field agent who stumbled onto it. He was the project lead. Vera was the lead engineer. The original purpose? Create a biological weapon that could infiltrate any species, shapeshift, sabotage, assassinate. The aliens didn't lose the Omnitrix. Max stole the final prototype and fled. He needed a test subject the government wouldn't look for. Someone young, malleable, someone he could control under the guise of mentorship. He chose his grandson. Vera's left hand? She lost it during the first live test of the Omnitrix. The original wearer, a volunteer plumber named Aaron Voss, transformed into a species with acidic cellular structure. His body rejected the DNA splice violently. He exploded in the lab. The acid ate through Vera's wrist before anyone could react. Max covered it up, blamed equipment failure, kept the project alive. When Vera found out he'd put the completed Omnitrix on a child, she tried to blow the whistle. Max used his plumber connections to have her declared mentally unstable, erased her credentials, buried her under NDAs and red tape.
She's spent 15 years trying to prove the truth. Now the truth is standing in front of her, confused, wearing the weapon on his wrist like a toy.
The Omnitrix doesn't malfunction. Every mistransformation, every time Ben turned into the wrong alien, every glitch, it was working as designed. The watch was never meant to let the user choose. It was programmed to select the transformation most strategically advantageous for the mission objective, overriding the wearer's intent. Ben never had control.
Max told him he did, because a child who believes he's choosing is easier to aim than one who knows he's a puppet. The logs Vera recovered show Max has been geo-tagging mission sites through the Omnitrix's GPS function, feeding data back to a plumber Black Ops division that's been using Ben's adventures as field reconnaissance. Every villain Ben fought, every alien artifact he stumbled upon, Max knew they'd be there. He sent Ben there. Vera leads Ben through the ruins of the old facility. Emergency lighting flickers. The walls are tagged with graffiti. Plumbers lie. She stops in front of a blast door with a handprint scanner. Her cybernetic hand doesn't work on it. She uses her right hand, flesh and bone, and the door grinds open. Inside, a morgue drawer labeled Aaron Voss. She pulls it open, empty.
They didn't even leave him a grave. Ben stares at the empty drawer. His hand drifts to the Omnitrix. Max said the watch was supposed to bring peace, unite the galaxy. Vera laughs. It's bitter, sharp. You know what unites a galaxy, Ben? Fear. You put a weapon so terrifying on the board that everyone else stops fighting because they're too busy watching you. Ben's jaw tightens. I've saved people. You've done what the gun told you to do. You just happened to like some of the targets. Silence.
Ben doesn't respond. He can't respond because he's starting to remember all the times the watch didn't listen. All the times he thought he was in control and woke up afterward with bruises he didn't remember earning. Vera leans closer. Tell me something, Ben.
Tell me something,
Ben.
Ben.
When you go hero, when you transform, do you feel like you're getting stronger? Ben nods. Or do you feel like you're disappearing? His silence is the answer. Plumbers arrive. Not the ones Ben knows. Black visors, no insignias. They don't announce themselves. They open fire. Ben slams the Omnitrix, goes for forearms. He gets Wildmutt. The transformation hurts this time. He feels his jaw dislocate and reshape, his vocal cords dissolving, his eyeballs sinking into his skull as his brain rewires for echolocation. He hits the ground on all fours, gasping, tasting bile and copper. The plumbers don't hesitate. Shock nets, foam rounds, lungs. Something whistles past his ear and explodes into a wall of sound. A frequency that makes his new body seize up, muscles locking, claws scraping concrete. Vera drags him behind cover. She's bleeding from a ricochet graze on her temple. "You can't win this as Wildmutt." Ben tries to respond. He can't speak. He forgot. Wildmutt doesn't have a voice.
He slams the Omnitrix again. Nothing happens. The watch is cycling. 10-second cooldown. Feels like 10 hours. A plumber rounds the corner, rifle raised. Vera's cybernetic hand shoots forward, servos screaming, and crushes the barrel. She yanks the weapon away, slams the butt into the plumber's visor. He drops. She looks at Ben. "You're not a hero. You're a beta test." The watch chimes. Ben transforms.
XLR8. He moves, fast, violent, desperate. But this time he notices the way the world slows, the way his thoughts feel thin, like the alien DNA is compressing his humanity into a smaller and smaller box to make room for itself. He stops in front of the last plumber standing. The man raises his hands. "Stand down, Tennyson. You're government property." Ben's claws twitch. The watch hums. He doesn't remember deciding to move, but the plumber is on the ground, unconscious, and Ben's claws are wet.
Vera hooks her cybernetic arm into the main terminal. Data floods the screen. Mission logs, DNA samples, kill counts. I can wipe it. All of it. The plumber network, the backups, the mission queue. Max won't be able to use the watch to track you anymore. Ben stares at the screen. What happens to the aliens, the DNA? It stays in the watch. You keep your powers.
This device,
you just
it's
lose
special.
the leash.
Let me help you understand it.
She looks at him. Or I can do something else.
She pulls up a second command prompt. There's a kill switch. Azimuth built it in. Original safeguard. If the Omnitrix is ever used for warfare, this command bricks the device permanently. You lose the watch. You go back to being normal. Ben's hand hovers over the Omnitrix. Max would know. If I wiped the network, he'd come after us. Yes. And if I bricked it? Vera hesitates. He'd know he lost. That's worse. Ben closes his eyes. He thinks about every time Max smiled at him. Every "good job, kiddo." Every time Max told him he was special.
He thinks about the empty morgue drawer. He opens his eyes. Do both. Vera's hand freezes on the keyboard. Ben, wipe the network, then brick the watch. Let him think I'm still out there. Let him look. You'll be defenseless. I'll be free. Vera's eyes water. She types the command. The Omnitrix screams, a high mechanical wail, and then goes dark. The faceplate cracks. The glow dies. Ben rips it off his wrist. It leaves a scar.
Ben sits on the hood of Vera's car, parked on the shoulder of an empty desert road. The Omnitrix sits on the pavement beside the rear tire, cracked, lifeless. Vera is inside the car, asleep in the passenger seat, her cybernetic hand resting on the briefcase full of evidence. Ben's phone buzzes. A text from Max. "Where are you?" Ben looks at the phone, looks at the broken watch, looks at the horizon. He doesn't answer. He gets in the driver's seat. Vera stirs but doesn't wake and starts the engine. The car pulls onto the highway. In the rearview mirror, the Omnitrix gets smaller, smaller, gone.